we're going to talk about the Mercedes-Benz SL series, in particular an SL 450 from 2017. There's been a lot said about this car, some of which I don't agree with. I think this car stands as one of the better SLs ever built. Of course, nobody can compare to the original SLR 300 race cars of 1955 that won the Sports Car Championship and the famous 300 SL Gull Wings. But as a modern car, these SLs deliver what a lot of people want in a car. It's a personal luxury car, it's comfortable, it's fun to drive, it's a very efficient car. Car and driver and their 75-mile-an-hour highway testing got 31 miles per gallon out of this car. This is a sixth-generation SL that came out in 2012. When they restyled the front end in 2017, I think it improved the looks of the car tremendously. Yes, they added a couple of little 300 SL hood bumps to the car and a few features to hark back to their heritage, but there's nothing wrong with that. This particular car is an SL 450, which is a very famous model in their history. It came out in the 70s and 80s, the SL 450 and subsequent SL 560s, which really set the standard for that market for many years. And today you're seeing people look at them as collectible cars worth enjoying and driving and enjoying. I know myself, I drove an SL 450 back in the 70s. At that time, I'd never driven a car that felt like it was carved out of one solid block of metal. They're very solid cars. Of course, in today's world, they're very inefficient. Well, the car we're going to talk about today is a SL 450 2017. This car has a 3-liter twin-turbo V6. The V6, to me, is the car people bought if you want to enjoy the car and have fun driving it. Now, this car is not like a 458 Ferrari. It's not light on the road. It's not a feather in your hands. When you're driving this car, you're aware that it has some mass to it. It's a modern car. It has electronic suspension and steering. It has settings for comfort, sport, and sport plus that dramatically change the personality of the car. If you're going down a meandering 45, 50-mile-an-hour back road, if you leave the car in comfort, the transmission will be shuffling between 7th, 8th, and 9th gear. If you put it in sport, you're going to find yourself in 5th, 6th, and 7th gear. And if you put it in Sport Plus, you're going to find yourself in 3rd, 4th, and 5th gear. So it definitely changes the personality of the car, as well as the steering and the throttle tip-in as you go through the different modes. I'd like to show you a few features of this car. It has a folding hardtop. This one is German engineering at its most complex. It's quite a mechanism. They have answered one question on this car, is what happens if you got luggage in the trunk and you want to fold the top? And I'd like to show you how they've addressed that. Let's say you're heading out for the weekend and you want to pack a few things for the weekend. It has quite a large trunk, but let's say you want to make sure that while you're driving you want to be able to put the top down and not have to worry about anything. What they have is this panel here that slides forward, and as long as this panel latches up and your luggage is in there, you know that you've got room to fold the top while you're driving. And they've complained, some people have complained about the rear end of this car being a little chunky. Well, you've got to have luggage room. It provides quite a bit of luggage room, and the top actually folds into this remaining space here. So it's a pretty efficient top to be able to fold in that amount of volume right there. So being a GT car, having adequate luggage capacity, to me, is a very important thing. This is a car that you want to take off for the weekend and you just want to enjoy yourself. Modern racing history with Mercedes starts with the 300 SLR sports cars from 1955. They were famous for two notable events. Number one, Sterling Moss won the Mille Miglia, a 1,000-mile race across closed roads that only Italians would consider to be closed. He did it in slightly over 10 hours, which was an absolutely unbelievable feat. The second thing was rather tragic, was their accident at Le Mans, where one of the 300 SLRs went in the crowd and killed 84 people. In fact, Mercedes withdrew from racing for 30 years after that accident. You know, when you're spending 6 figures for a car, you're buying more than a car. What you're really buying is a car that, you know, speaks to you in a different language. All the cars do. People that like a Mercedes SL A lot of them aren't really cross-shopping other cars. They want an SL, they wanted one for years, and they want what it represents, which is a personal luxury car that has its performance, but it's certainly no track car. But it'll certainly keep up on the road with most anything you want to run with. The the 300 SL actually came into being in 1954 because Max Hoffman, an American importer of foreign cars, went to Mercedes and said, we need to have a personal luxury car. People would like to buy that in America. And of course, what happened, of course, Ford came out with the two-passenger Bird that we've talked about previously and really established the personal luxury car market as a highly profitable end of the business. The car we're looking at today is a 6th generation Mercedes nomenclature. It's an R231 SL, and it was made from 2012 to about 2020. In my opinion, it's the last SL ever made. It's because the new ones platform share with AMG sports cars, and they're quite complex cars. They're very adequate cars, but they have full-time four-wheel drive. They're very heavy. They're very complex. To me, that's just not what an SL is. Over the years, a lot of people have tried to compete with the SL. They basically owned the luxury two-passenger market for over 50 years. Cadillac's made a couple of runs at them with the Aliante from 89 to 93. Then they built the XLR from 2003 to 2009. The only other manufacturer that's really competed over the years with the SL is Jaguar. That's built a lot of really nice cars, but unfortunately Jaguars, and I've had history with them over the years from XJS's and different cars, they've always had a little problem with reliability. The Jaguar is a wonderful car that you could dearly love that car the 3 days out of the week that it's running perfectly. If you're looking for a luxury GT car, something that makes you feel special, something you can relax while you're driving, I think that the SL is unparalleled, and I don't think there's anyone else that can compete with it. Unfortunately, Mercedes has decided that the strictly two-passenger car is not where the market is, and that's why their new SL has come out. It's basically a 2+2 car. They're chasing BMW in the market because they've done so well with their convertible 6 Series and some of their bigger series cars. And so Mercedes is kind of copying what BMW did, which to me is not what you should do on your premium car and call it an SL. As I said, it's no track beast, but it didn't go weak at the knees. It didn't fall all over itself. You're always aware of the fact that when you're driving an SL that you're driving a car of some mass, but you're able to have control of it, and it doesn't go all wobbly in the knees. The suspension is very well tuned. You're able to change the personality of the car by whether you run Comfort, Sport, or Sport Plus. It's a very satisfying car to drive. There's been several automotive research firms that research cars, and they were surprised to find out that the SL ranked 100% with driver satisfaction. The people that drive them are very satisfied with the car, and they're very happy with what they have. Built rock solid, it gives you a feeling of stability and safety on the road that's not matched by many other two-seaters. All right, we're up here at our headquarters at Scuderia Fubar at Atlanta Motorsports Park. We had another great day out here. We hope we've been able to tell you a few things you might not have known about the SL series. We had a good day. I hope you liked the video. If you did, let us know. And if you didn't, please be kind and please hit the subscribe button. Thank you.